I don't care that they're a depleted team. I don't care that they're god-awful. The Phillies did exactly what they should do against a depleted, god-awful team. They destroyed them and set a franchise record for most home runs in a series. So I am fine with what they did over the weekend, regardless of who it was against. Because if you're the Philadelphia Phillies and you're truly a playoff contending team, then you need to bury a team like the Nationals. And that's exactly what they did. And one of the stars of that show was JT Realmuto. And I want to start off with this tweet from our friend Jason Stark at The Athletic. JT Realmuto, over this past weekend, became the first catcher in the modern era with a home run and triple in back-to-back games. First catcher in the modern era. Last NL catcher to even have two games like that in the same season, quote-unquote, JT Realmuto in 2019. So I guess Jason Stark realized that we had some curiosity. We're just thinking about anybody else that might have done it as well. And he's the last catcher to do that, not named JT Realmuto, with two in the same season, Jason Kendall in 2000. So JT Realmuto in elite company, as he has been for the last, month of the season plus. Finished up July pretty hot. We talked about that he hit well over 300, 336, and hit some home runs for you and really turned his season around, especially after he didn't play in Toronto, whatever that was. That was a little reset button it turned out to be for him, and he has been one of the best to watch in the game, especially just not even just from the plate, but behind the plate as well. So it's great to see that. Then Rhys Hoskins, who has been red hot for the Phillies, takes the ball off his wrist, his forearm, and we all get a little scared. Looks like everything's going to be all right. So that's nice. But all in all, whether it was Rhys Hoskins hitting home runs in 4 consecutive games, whether it was JT Realmuto dominating at the plate as well, whether it was Derek Hall hitting bombs for you, whether it was Nick Maton hitting bombs for you, everybody on this Phillies roster was scorching hot. Brandon Marsh gets you a couple of hits. I was actually at the game on Saturday, my first baseball game in forever, it felt like. And I go to the stadium, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this Brandon Marsh guy, I want to see him hit. Boom. Smacks a base hit up the middle. Had a couple of those over the weekend. Great to see that from him as a guy that's not supposed to hit. Guy's just supposed to be a defensive upgrade. They got the shot after Brandon Marsh yesterday got a hit. They got the shot of hitting coach Kevin Long sitting there in the dugout being like, yeah, that's how you do it. They said that his swing needed some tweaks. They felt like they knew what he needed in order to improve and become a better offensive center fielder, because defensively speaking, it's already there for the guy. And Kevin Long's looking at him like, oh, yeah, there you go. So maybe those guys are already having conversations about what he needs to do, Brandon Marsh, to become a better hitter at the plate. But I was blown away by what the Phillies were able to do. Because I was waiting, like some of you that maybe you're not pessimistic, maybe you're more so the realist. You're waiting for that at least one game where they played down to their opponent. And it didn't happen. They kept pouring it on over the weekend. And for a team that is really trying to solidify a spot in the wild card and in the playoffs, because now it's not even just about the wild card anymore. Now you're talking about being the second wild card team, not the pity third party that wouldn't be in the playoffs had it not been for a little playoff expansion going into this season, but a team that is actually rolling into the playoffs in the 2 spot in the wild card. Not that pity number 3, but the 2 spot. And it feels like, and going down to the ballpark for the first time really helped drive this home for me. It really felt like that buzz was back. I mean, you watch the games on TV, and you certainly know that there's excitement. But when you actually go to the game, this is why I was at that game. It's such a brag whenever a game gets brought up, because you can tell the whole vibe and the atmosphere, and you kind of feel that whole emotion that's going on at Citizens Bank Park. So I walk into the stadium, and just from the moment I actually walked into the concourse, there was like this buzz, this excitement about the Phillies again. And it didn't matter that it was the Nationals. You were going there because you really felt like your team was going to win. It's no longer, to use this phrase again, the pity party that it was for the last 10 years. It was like, oh, well, if we go, maybe they'll win. No, it was like you went there expecting them to win this baseball game. You went there expecting to see JT Realmuto hit a home run. You went there expecting to see Rhys Hoskins go yard. That's what you went to the ballpark to see. And yesterday, the day before, previous 2 games in this series, you got all of it. And being able to walk into that type of environment and have that experience again, and it's been the first time in a long time, not just to go to a game, but to have that experience of expecting your team to win, that is a great feeling to have when you walk into Citizens Bank Ballpark right there in South Philly. It was electric. And then